Today we're going to learn how to cook, and I'm going to show you how to slice it, dice it, and spice it. Hi guys, I'm Dan, and today I'm going to show you how to cook in college. Most college students are intimidated by the thought of cooking, or even overwhelmed, but I'm going to show you it's really not that hard. Most of you are accustomed to eating things like this, ramen noodle. They're boring, they're bland, and sometimes they can get messy. Now let's get started. Now some of the items we're going to be using today to cook with are a spatula, big plastic spoon, and what every chef needs, chef knife, and of course a cutting board. Now we're going to be using your basic household skillet, as you can see, Wolfgang Puck edition, and a Dutch oven, or as many know, a pot. Now today's theme is healthy, so I'm going to use a variety of vegetables. Garlic, spinach, long hots, medallion onion, a variety of peppers, green or red, doesn't really matter, and baby portobello mushrooms. Now just to have fun with it, I'm also going to be grabbing a couple sweet potatoes. And now that we have all of our items here, I'm going to show you how to clean them, cut them, and cook them. Just wash them off. So since these aren't organically grown, there's a lot of chemicals on them, a lot of stuff you just really don't want to digest. So cleaning is imperative. Now before we start cutting, I think one of the most important things to do is, for the convenience of cooking, always keep a trash can nearby, so you're not going back and forth when you need to throw away scraps or anything. Now with onions, it's obviously a lot of scraps. Skin falls off, everything gets everywhere, you know, it just makes it easier. Now make sure you always cut off both ends of the onion. You don't want to eat that part. And to take the skin off, I realized once you cut both ends, if you kind of just wedge the knife in there across one of the layers like that, and you get your hand in there, you kind of take away that skin pretty easily. There you go, there you have it. That's that. I'm going to chop this onion in half here. Now when you start cutting an onion, you always want to put the cut side down. Makes it easier. A lot of people, they try cutting like this, or I don't know if there's any people out there who try cutting an onion even like this. It's really not going to work out for you. You might cut one of your fingers off. So we're going to start from right to left. Now, depending on how you want your onions cut, whether you want little small bite sizes or you want long pieces of onion, you're just going to go ahead and cut it again, but from a different direction. Now, when you're dealing with peppers, you always want to cut the tops off. I find it easiest, you don't have to do it this way, whatever way you're comfortable with. It's just taking the point of the knife, I'm just slowly cutting around that stem there. Once that part is out, just pull it out like that. Now these are pretty tender, so you can break them with your hand, as you can see. Just crack it right down the middle. And with your hands, even under a running faucet, you can wash out all those seeds. And we're going to lay that down flat. To make it easier for cutting, we're going to cut in long slices here. And you got to turn it once you cut it in the long slices so you can cube it up. Once again, bite-sized pieces. And these are just your basic portobello mushrooms. There's no stems or anything you really have to cut off that you can't eat. The whole thing's pretty much edible. Just gonna make thin slices like so. And these are really tender, so you really don't even have to put pressure on the knife. It kind of just does the work for you. I'm gonna do thin slices here. A lot of people they don't like mushrooms. They say they don't like mushrooms. They never even really tried them. They do have a lot of flavor, and they are tasty. Now, long hots are just your classic hot pepper. Typically you see them on sandwiches, but they're actually really great for cooking as well. I'm going to show you that today. Now you're going to want to discard the tops of them. You can just cut both at the same time, just like that. Now long hots, they have a lot of seeds in them. So what I'm going to do here is crack it right down the middle like I did with my previous pepper. Now a lot of the spiciness of the long hot is right here in the seeds, but you don't want too much of that because that kind of overwhelms the rest of the flavor of your meal. So we're going to head and discard that right there. Wash the rest of the seeds out here. Now the base of our skillet is going to be garlic. Now with garlic, they have these little ends on them. You're going to want to chop those off before you start cooking, or cutting them at the very least. Now it's really important with garlic that you mincely chop it. What I mean by that, it's a culinary term there. So you chop it really fine, because no one really wants big chunks of garlic in every bite of their food. You know, you really just want the essence of the flavor of the garlic. After you gave the garlic a rough chop, this is why the chef knife is important, because it allows you to rock back and forth in a particular motion to kind of chop this real easy here. And this is what I mean by mince. Just go back and forth a couple times. A few times actually. Sometimes you need to restart, get everything back in the middle again. Just keep going until you're comfortable with the size of the garlic. Now once we're usually finished the garlic, we're going to go ahead and take some, I'm not going to say EVOO like Rachel Ray. You just got your classic olive oil here. We need a lubricant for the skillet so that the vegetables don't begin to stick on it. We're going to turn that on relatively high. We're going to let that warm up before we drop our vegetables on it. Now we're going to be cooking rice as well, so we're going to start off with 4 cups of water. Use a measuring cup for that. Now when you're cooking rice, the amount of water you put in is really important, because if you're off by a little, or you're off by a lot, that can make all the difference between the rice being too soft, too hard. Now we're going to be cooking with white rice today, and I know what a lot of you guys are thinking. You said healthy, but I really like the flavor of white rice. I'm not a big fan of the flavor of brown rice because of the texture and the chewiness, but after doing some studying, I realized that the only thing the white rice doesn't have that the brown rice does have is fiber and vitamin D. Now if you're looking for fiber, if you're eating your vegetables every single day and all the fruits that you need to eat, you don't really have to worry about it. As far as vitamin D, just drink some milk. Alright, now with white rice, you're always going to do 2 parts water to 1 part rice. So we added 4 parts water, so that means we're going to be doing 2 cups of rice. And it looks like we just might have got it there. Good thing I have more white rice in the cabinet. Well, let's see if I have more white rice. I don't have any white rice left. But I can tell you this, I'm going to improvise. I'm going to show you how. Every college student knows how to improvise. A little brown rice on top, that's right, I got it. Just a little bit. That should be good. All right, there goes your vitamin D and fiber right there, guys. Now the base of our vegetable medley is going to be the garlic, so you're going to want to throw that on here first. Now it's important to never burn the garlic. You just want to brown it a little bit. If you burn it, the flavor becomes bitter, and it was really pointless to add the garlic in the first place. Just going to move this around. I would say just 1 minute. Just leave the garlic on here for 1 minute. If you see it browning or burning, you're going to want to lower the flame and then throw the other vegetables in. And our garlic is starting to brown, so we're going to go ahead and add in the rest of the vegetables here. Just drop these in. Doesn't really matter which one's going first. Just kind of want to drop these all in here. Now what I learned is a lot of people don't feel like cooking. They don't like cooking. So if you still don't like it even after today, then you just cook a lot of food at one time, and then you store it and put it away for the next day, and you don't have to cook every single day. So just cook more than one serving. So we have our potatoes that we already previously washed. Now what we're going to do with these, we're going to make a sweet potato fry. So we're going to just cut these like so. And now that they're cut in slices like this, you can kind of cut them in a fry shape, as thick or thin as you like. Just some thick slices here, like so. Now that our sweet potatoes are all cut up, put them in this medium-sized bowl here. Gotta spice it up a little bit though. You don't want them to be too bland. So we're gonna add a little olive oil. Now you pretty much just want to put a little bit of this, enough so that when you shake it around, it coats all the sweet potato fries. Because this is gonna help our spices stick. Alright. Now, I'm a freestyle. I'm not really sure what kind of spices I want to put on this. So let's look what we have here. Alright, maybe some cayenne pepper. That sounds pretty good. A little bit of paprika. And I already have the sea salt and peppercorn out here, so let's put that on there. You don't really have to measure these out. You can just do it by eye. Shake some paprika over here. There we go. A bit of cayenne pepper. A little bit of this, not too much, not too much, not too much. Some sea salt. Some black pepper. Now, just want to mix this up here so it coats everything evenly. It's important. You want to cover the cookie sheet with some tin foil so the sweet potatoes do not stick to this cookie sheet. Now we're going to take the sweet potatoes and put them in your oven. Like I said, preheat the oven to 450 degrees. Now I would say to leave them there for about 15 minutes, checking on them ever so often. If you feel after 15 minutes they're not cooked thoroughly enough, just flip them over on both sides and check on them every 2 minutes because they can burn pretty fast. Now that the vegetables are, I would say, halfway done cooking right now, we're going to add in that spinach that I took out earlier. I didn't want to add the spinach in first because spinach tends to cook really, really fast. So let's go ahead and wash this off. And after you're done washing it off, spinach actually absorbs water. So you're going to want to squeeze this out. You don't want too much water in there. See, a lot of that just came out right there. I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle the spinach right over the vegetables, just like that. And it looks like a lot now, but it's definitely going to cook down. And a lot of times while you're cooking, you run into a wall. And what I mean by that is, everything's cooking at the same time and there's not really anything left for you to do. So people think they can just walk away from the kitchen and go do some other activities. But I'm going to tell you that it's really not what you want to do because a lot of mistakes happen that way. Now if you ever want to make any meal really special or kick it up a little bit, I really suggest adding fresh herbs. And here I have some cilantro, or you can use parsley, flat leaf parsley, whatever you like, but I really love the flavor of cilantro, so we're going to go ahead and stick with that. Now we're going to take the stems off this. You really don't want that part, and there's not too many stems, and if they are in your meal, it's not really a big deal. They'll cook down, you probably won't even notice them. Now, once you remove the majority of the stems, you want to just give this a quick chop. Nothing crazy. Just want to cut it open so that flavor is exposed. There you go, like that. Just going to garnish this here. Now that our water is boiling, we're going to go ahead and add this rice in. Drop it in evenly, as you can see. Just like that. Now we're going to bring that to a simmer or a boil again. And once that starts boiling, we're going to drop the heat. We're going to cover that. We're going to let that sit for about 20 to 25 minutes. As you can see, our rice is boiling now, so we're going to have to cover that. And then we're going to drop the flame real low. Turn that down. I know a lot of you guys are thinking, turn down for what? We're going to turn down because you don't want the rice to burn, so it's low. We're going to check on our sweet potatoes now. And these look done. You can see they got that nice crisp on the outside. That's what you're looking for. Or maybe it's not. Let's go check on our vegetables now. They look just about done. Everything's tender and cooked. I'd say it's been cooking for about 20 minutes. That's done. And I believe our rice is done as well. It's been on for about 25 minutes. So let's check this out. You see all the water has already absorbed. It's not too hard. It's not too soft. Just right. Now that we're done cooking, we're going to plate this food. Sort the rice. There you see a little bit of that brown rice in there. That vitamin D and fiber we talked about earlier. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sometimes things can get a little messy. Don't worry about that. Someone always clean up afterwards. Alright, some rice there. Take a nice heaping scoop of the vegetable medley we got here. I'm going to top that off. Just like that. Now, plating techniques aren't that good yet, but doesn't really matter. Alright. Grab a handful of fries. Sweet potato fries. I know it's an uncommon mixture of foods, but hey, they all taste good, so what's it really matter? And there you have it. White rice, sweet potato fries, and a vegetable medley. Alright guys, and that concludes our video. Hope you learned something today. I took you through all the basic steps of cooking, how to make a healthy meal as an alternative to the unhealthy stuff you're used to eating. And if you're ever wondering where you can get all these vegetables at, I'm sure in whatever town you are, there's a local produce stand. You can get all this stuff for very cheap. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you learned a lot. Now, digging guys. Just so you know, there was no animals hurt during the making of this video, because I've recently stopped eating meat. But at any point, feel free to add chicken, beef, or pork.